The Day That Changed America by Lisa Jones. I've always been proud to be an American. 4th of July parades, picnics, and firework displays have always been enjoyed by many Americans. Flags on every porches are usually seen, most all of the time. But on September 11, 2001, America changed. Early on the morning of September 11, 2001, 19 hijackers took over 4 flights. At 8:46 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11 flew into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. At 9:03 a.m., United 175 flew into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. New Yorkers were still in shock by the first crash of the World Trade Center building. They couldn't believe what else they were seeing. Another group of hijackers, American Airlines Flight 77, flew into the Pentagon at 9:37 a.m. The 4th flight, United Flight 93, flew into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. It was thought that this flight was headed for the Capitol or the White House. 19 hijackers boarded the airplanes in Boston, Newark, and Washington Dulles International Airport. They used box cutters to take over the flight crew and flight attendants. Government officials said that a flight attendant called and said that the hijackers had killed 2 attendants and broke into the cockpit. Flight 93's crew and passengers attempted to take control of the flight. It was said that on Flight 93, a passenger had called and said they had been hijacked. Within hours, the FBI knew names and details of the hijackers. Muhammad Atta was the ringleader of the hijackers. In his luggage that didn't make his connection flight were the names and details of each of the hijackers responsible. The U.S. government determined that Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden were responsible for the attacks. The plot was planned by Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who they say was the principal architect. He is currently being held in Guantanamo Bay and has confessed to the attacks of that day. The 3 buildings collapsed in the World Trade Center complex. The South Tower fell approximately 9:59 a.m. The North Tower fell at 10:28 a.m. When the North Tower fell, it damaged 7 World Trade Center and it collapsed at 5:20 p.m. The collapse of the 110-story building sent dust and debris all over Lower Manhattan. Overall, 2,974 people were killed on that day, excluding the hijackers. 246 people were on the 4 planes, and 125 people were at the Pentagon. 24 people are still missing from that day. The vast majority of people below the impact zone safely evacuated. Around 200 people jumped to their deaths that day. 411 emergency workers also died. The city was only able to identify 1,600 victims of the attacks. Bone fragments are still being found to this day. In conclusion, because of 9/11, America changed. We see our country in a whole new light. We are proud of our country. An excerpt from President Bush's speech on the night after the attacks states, "Today, our nation saw evil, the very worst of human nature, and we responded with the best of America, with the daring of our rescue workers, with the caring for strangers and neighbors who came to give blood, and help any way they could. None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Thank you, good night, and God bless America.
Yay! Clap, 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 clap.